What's going on, everybody? Looks like it's just me in the studio today. This is Proper Cup of Joe, where we are. I mean, I hope Adam's okay. He was there a second ago, but oh, there he is. Okay,
I was adjusting my my tinfoil, antenna over across the room there.
How are we doing this morning? This is Proper Cup of Joe, where Adam had snakes and I don't, and I got a lot of questions,
And I got technical problems. I'm coming to you today live from a personal hotspot with one or two little bars of 5G. Man, this is we are duct tape and what else would it be? Some chicken wire away from going off the road here.
Using a personal hotspot is a normal thing, Adam. You know that this has been happening for many, many years, and it works fine.
Okay, man, we'll see. I've given the disclaimer. I'm letting you know what's up, and I gotta say, you could carry a little weight. You might be carrying all of it today, Joe. If I disappear on you.
Well, let me just say I'm used to that. Okay.
Nothing new. Huh?
No, physically.
You've been doing that for 2.5 years, huh?
No, I meant, me personally, it was a jab at myself. It was self-deprecating, not a jab at you. It was to me. How you doing? How about the week? How was that? Was that a good week?
Yeah, it was a good week. It's kind of weird. Sales are slow or almost non-existent. I'm living on Google ads and rodent sales this month, but it's just cold and everybody just got through the holidays, and then it's pre-tax season, and so it's like the big anticipation, and it's a big anticipation of the snakes. We're looking for that we'll start to see some ovulations. They're breeding, so it's like you dream about the future. It's like the few nights before Christmas when you're like, what's the big man going to bring down the chimney? You just all the visions are dancing in your head. Now you had kind of a nice week, a big week. You played your own show there for a minute. That was last Thursday. Yeah, last Thursday. Yeah, myself, two other musicians, Will Armstrong and Laura Rakowitz. Actually, we could take the business angle. At first, the show was fine. It was good. We had a good time. Couple local, really. I don't think it's bad to say. Actually, I want to say thank you. It made my night. Ed and Emily from Snake Discovery strolled in, just like locals hanging out in the, on the scene. It was pretty cool, man. I didn't know they were coming. Really made my evening.
Where are they located? Usually, they're located in the Minneapolis area. They didn't come from I don't know, North Carolina, did they?
Well, I think technically they came from Wisconsin. They live in Wisconsin.
Really?
I don't know. Well, it's on the border. It'd be like,
okay.
But yeah, I mean, it was probably an hour, and that was nice of them to do. It was really, really kind of cool to see support and off. Like, it's really cool when it's not, oh, we got to take pictures and post on social media. It was just like, what are you guys drinking? Well, let's have a beer and hang out.
That's awesome.
So
that's great.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was like out of the element. So like nobody in the room was like, oh, look at these people that, whatever it is that's my own self-deprecating. It's not like, oh, there's Adam and his reptile element making content. No, I was playing guitar and they were hanging out in the audience. And then on my break, I got to go hang out while the others played for a little bit.
That's cool, man. That's great.
Yeah, it was fun.
And the show went well. How about the rest of the week? Was that all right?
Yeah, it's been a little bit busy and hectic, but that's kind of how I like it. It's a new level of cold that we're coming into this week. So I had a little fire drill on Monday of my ironically, my internet connection. At the car wash, I was getting no signal as far as cameras, temps, anything. So I didn't know if the power had gone out, which led to the internet going out, or just the internet went out. So I had to scramble that morning where I was like, okay, last known response from the car wash was at 6 a.m. and it was at around 8:30 when I realized that there was nothing. And I was like, okay, so it's been out for 2.5 hours. Load up the generator, load up the propane tanks for the propane heater. And it's time to roll out there, see what's going on. And the power was on. I'd actually flipped the breaker had flipped that the modem is plugged into. So it just cracked. The internet service hadn't even gone out. It was just my equipment.
Isn't it great when you think that there's a big problem, and then you go and it's just the switch that you have to.
Yeah, you're just like, well, this is. You guys want to get some coffee? Like, you're like, all right, this is cool.
Yes.
At the same time, you feel immediately
a few hours to take care of it. You go, this is great.
You feel immediately productive and wasteful of time and energy all in one moment. So.
Yeah,
what about
great.
you, man?
It's great. Yeah, good week. Yeah, I started my graduate course, which is good. I got one more to really meet the credentials, so I can teach some history courses. That's nice.
That you're taking or that you're teaching?
I'm taking.
Okay.
Well, I've started teaching for the semester too, and that's been really terrific. Really, I got classes. The classes are fantastic. The students are really engaged in. Which is hit and miss. Like sometimes you have students who are just like, I don't want to be here, and then it's just so much more work to try and get them involved in the discussion. But both classes are terrific, and then I have some online classes. Then I have this graduate course. It's the history of capitalism. So we'll see what that's about.
Wow.
It's actually been great so far. It's on Wednesday nights, and I go there for 3 or 4 hours and talk about capitalism, I guess.
That's not funny, but that's very cool. I used to, and I could do a whole show on this, but I don't care to. Any new manager that came in, a new professional that wanted to make a career of food and beverage, usually in hospitality, people are really, really good at shaking hands and kissing babies and putting on nice suits and that stuff, but they don't know how to run a business. So day one was always Adam's brief history of capitalism. And but that would lead into accounting and how you make money. And so that was always day one with the new, like say the new professional hires, or if I had interns, it was like, all right, I'm glad you can shave and put gel in your hair and look sharp and you can run food. How are we going to make money is important here as well. So that was always part of it. But that was kind of funny that I would always be like, there's a brief history of capitalism right there.
There is. It's funny because it is different than like an economics course. It's the history of capitalism. So you're looking at capitalism over time and how it's affected the history of the United States. Really, it's capitalism in America, American capitalism. So it's strange. It's strange. And I learned last night that economists don't really like historians or something like that. There's like, and I just go, why can't we just all get along? Let's go. They have a real problem with the way that historians view capitalism, but I don't know. That's it's something I'll delve into, I guess, over the next few months.
We could probably make a whole show of that. But my comments were more along the lines of like a very, very simple formula, which is just cost over revenue. And I'm like, right there you go. That's the whole history of capitalism.
Right.
You make more than you lose, you stay in business. You lose more than you make, you close the doors. Let's be on this side of that fence and figure out how to stay there, kind of deal. So it was just a line in my
the first book was extremely interesting, though. I was surprised at how interesting. Now I can't read lying down. I realized that I can't read histories of capitalism lying down because I will immediately fall asleep. So I have to be upright and
okay. Well, now that I can empathize with, even as a person with a history degree from the University of Florida. Yeah, some of those texts get they get a little wordy, shall we say? I've been told that about me too.
Yeah, you definitely. So Yeah, I started teaching classes, and the classes have been great, and it's reinforced. You know how like you do something, you kind of have a hunch of this is what I should be doing,
Yeah.
and then you go and you have a day where it's like this is all I want to do. Like that's what the first few days of teaching this semester has been.
That's what
It's
the
like
whole
just
thing's about. That's the whole joy.
yeah,
That's you're winning, man.
yeah. It's good. Now, if I could only do that and cut out all the other work that I need to do, that would be that would be ideal.
That's the
Because
new
I don't know
challenge.
how I'm
Yeah.
going to fit everything up in the next few months. But
Yeah. Well, I wish you luck on it, and you'll figure it out. I know a little something about enjoying being slightly in over your head and then figuring it out and
yeah,
it being
yeah,
very fulfilling, man. It's the best.
yeah. We also suffered a loss in football this week in my house, which is the Bills being eliminated. That was no good. That was this week, right?
Yeah, the Bills
Yeah. Oh
and
my
their
gosh.
coach were eliminated. Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right. I like
Yeah,
that guy too.
I was just saying, not to make light of somebody losing their job, but if anybody's going to lose their job, at least those guys are landing on their feet, So
Yeah, yes, that's right.
he's going to be all right.
Hopefully,
he will be.
yes,
He will be. He's going to be just fine.
Yeah, and then you saw and then you have days when you're doing a profession where you just have an awful day and it makes you get up in front of a bunch of people and get teary-eyed like Josh Allen did, which I felt so bad for him.
He's a good man.
Then I was like, he's gonna land on his feet as well.
Oh,
What softens the blow? What softens the blow of losing a game that you
I have an
play?
idea. A game,
$50 million a year. That's
right.
That's really helpful.
It's really helpful. It does make things easier to get over.
Do you have one thing that you were thinking about over this past weekend or this week?
Joe, I got to tell you, man, the answer to one of life's great mysteries was solved for me. And I wish I could take credit for this. I can't, but I could share the good news.
Okay.
Do you remember the iconic cultural importance of 1993's masterpiece by Ice Cube, It Was a Good Day?
Oh yeah, of course.
There are days when I'm walking up the shop where I'm like, today was a good day, and then I like walk out. I just give myself a little pep talk. Do you know?
Yes.
Do you know what day was the good day that he was rapping about?
Let's see if I go through. You're asking for a date? Like
the date,
specific date.
The date. It has been revealed. It has been discovered. It is figured out. I'm going to tell you. It was January 20th, 1992. 2 days ago, this week was, the anniversary of the good day. And allow me, if you will, I'll tell you how we know this. Would you like to hear?
Okay. Wait, it's January 20th.
Yeah, 2 days ago was the anniversary of the good day.
And that is because, wait, hang on a second. So January 20th is usually inauguration day, but 92 was an election year, so inauguration would have been 93, I think. So it has nothing to do with the
I assure you, it has nothing to do with the inauguration.
Ice Cube was so happy at the inauguration of Bill Clinton.
Yeah, no, that wasn't what he was rapping about.
It.
All right.
Okay.
No, all the clues are in the song though. So here you go.
Wait. Hang on. Okay. The Lakers beat the Supersonics.
Oh, so okay. That's one of the clues. Yeah.
The Lakers must have beat the Supersonics on that day, on a particular day.
They did. That's correct. That is one of the that is one of the reasons.
That's one of the clues.
That's one of the clues. That's right. You are familiar with the song. I'm impressed.
Kim.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Joe's got
Kim.
a little hip hop
Okay,
roots.
so
What did Kim do? Not that thing, but what's the other thing Kim did in the song?
It's more about what he did to Kim.
No, it's not about what he wanted to do to Kim. That's
No,
that's the part we're gonna. What did Kim do?
Kim paged him.
Kim used a beeper. When did beepers come around? Yeah.
When did beepers come around?
That's right.
Yeah, it was, I mean, it's by the 90s, definitely. Right?
Uh-oh. There was a beeper. All right, now, so the Lakers had to be the Supersonics in the 90s from when beepers existed. What could the latest day be of the song?
The latest day of the song. I got to go through all the lyrics. I can't go through all. So I know that he got
this is not in the lyric. It had to be before the song was released, right? You couldn't release the song and it'd be about a day after that. So they came out in 93. Yeah. So now we've narrowed it down to when beepers existed, when the Lakers beat the Sonics, and prior to 1993.
Okay, so it's got to be 1992. It's got to be before the advent of pagers or after the advent of pagers. Okay?
Correct.
So yeah. And when were they mass produced? I don't know. And when was it in the hands of people? I don't know. So for me, it's got to be from 90 to 93, right?
That's correct. So all right, here's the rest. There was no smog that day in LA. The weather conditions, there was only 4 days. There was only 4 days from 1990 to 1993 when the Lakers beat the Supersonics that there was no smog. So we're down to 4 days. 4 days, okay? And excuse me, we're actually down to less. The 4 days exist. He mentions that he and his buddies were watching Yo MTV Raps. Yo MTV Raps came on in 1988. So from 1988 to 1993, on days that the Lakers beat the Supersonics, which there was 11, there was only 4 days that there was no smog. 2 of those days were pre-1990. Kim couldn't have paged him to, do that thing all night. So now we're down to 2 days. Ice Cube starred in the movie Boys in the Hood, which was filming in 1992. So that eliminated the day in 1992 when the Supersonics lost to the Lakers and there was no smog, leaving only 1 day that the song could have been about, January 20th, 1992. Excuse me. Yeah, 1992. Late 1992, early 93 that he's filming Boys in the Hood. And we've lost connection. No, we're back. There we go.
No, we're back.
Yeah. So, Elias, you're exactly right. These are 2 history dudes that are 46 figuring this out. Yeah. I'm not sure how far we could take the cultural appropriation. Maybe one analysis every 2.5 years is good.
Hey, listen, as an older white man, I can enjoy rap music, right?
I'm telling you, under that comment, there's a deep appreciation that we have any idea of any of this, is what I think. That I don't want to put words in other people's mouths, but that's what I think.
Well, so, any day where I don't have to use my AK, it's a good day. You know what I mean?
What court are you going to be on today, Joe?
The court.
You're going to mess around and get a triple double today, baby.
Triple double, yes,
that's
exactly, right. Exactly. Any day I yell domino.
That's right. It's good. Guys, next week tune in. We will break down why real G's move in silence like lasagna. Tune in next week. Okay? And you thought I was all stones and rock and roll. Okay, Joe. What do you? January 20th, 1992. It was a good day. What do you got going on this week? What was your one thing?
So let's see. Well, actually, I was sent this by somebody. First of all, I'm hesitant when I introduce myself to the class and somebody brings up, even when I have a student in class that mentions that they have a snake, I am hesitant to say that I have a snake podcast on Thursday.
That's where you should flex. You should be like, oh, you do? You probably recognize me.
Okay, so yeah, I don't but people do send me stuff. The people that know that I do this on Thursday mornings send me stuff, and I was sent a Facebook post and then like an article about something called snake yoga, which is I guess something that's taking place in Portland, Oregon at a reptile shop called Hiss with multiple S's.
Right.
And apparently this is like an iteration of, there used to be like puppy yoga. There used to be, then there's goat yoga.
There is goat yoga. There's
this snake yoga. And I wanted to get your reaction about that. I was thinking about this and I thought, yeah, let's bring it to the pod. You know, let's get people's reaction to this, because when we first started this, one of my first questions was why snakes? And there were, which continues to be the through line of my questioning. But one of the I think somebody in the chat said it's very calming to be around my snake, to be around my pet snake, and so. And I've always like thought about that. It's like, so most of the time, like when I see a snake, I'm like, whoa, yeesh.
Let me take note.
But I can imagine once you get used to it that it's a very, they move very slowly, fluidly. There's like there might be kind of this Zen feeling about them. So I'm wondering, you know, what your reaction is to this and the chat.
Well, interesting point. Interesting thought. I have a tough time being unbiased here, and not about the snakes. I have very strong opinions about this whole yoga thing.
Just yoga in general, you don't.
I have a storied history with yoga. I was led to believe this is where, you know, very attractive people go to exercise. And if you indeed go to yoga, you too will become one of these very attractive people. And,
okay.
And so in college, I actually signed up for it wasn't an actual course, but like the things you could do for like enrichment or fun, you know, just like get in. I was like, all right, man, this is where the chicks are going to be, man. Let's sign up for some yoga. And what I found was a bunch of people like myself, perfectly average, hunched over in weird ways. And then there were a few farts in the room. And I was like, this is horrible. This is terrible. I don't want to be here. There's nothing attractive going on in here. This is not fulfilling and not Zen-like. So
I gotta say, that's a bad yoga class. You went to a bad yoga session. I mean,
it's my experience, Joe. Don't tell me how to feel about what I feel. Okay. So then,
and your experience is the only one that matters.
It's for me. That's right. No. You know, I'm down for a few good stretches at home. I've been known to do some yoga poses in between my push-ups and my daily regimen, and I do enjoy that stuff, although I don't know how Zen it is in that. So then Kelly, fast forward, you know, many years, I've met my wife, I'm married, we moved to Minnesota. Kelly says, hey, you know what they have down the road at this barn down here? And I'm like, what's that? She's like, goat yoga. I was like, okay. And like, so for like Mother's Day or something, a couple years ago, we go do this goat yoga. And my initial impressions of yoga are reinforced, except now I have these goats nibbling on my knuckles and hopping on my shoulders. And I'm like,
why is that a bad thing?
Well, if I want to play with a goat, I don't need to be doing yoga. I'll just go play with a goat. But that's not, you know, they have petting zoos and stuff. So my real thought is, if you want to hang out with snakes, go hang out with snakes. I don't know that you need to be trying to balance one while you're doing a downward dog, trying not to fart and look attractive. It's really, I don't know how it's going to work all together.
You know, like yoga, exercise yoga is like a very a popular thing to do, Adam, right? You know, you know that's right.
So is
Just like the first
smoking and
one.
vaping. I don't know that it's better than
Okay.
smoking and vaping. Okay, I promise. I understand that.
Okay, all right. And there's actually a lot of reaction on the chat to this. This is great.
Yeah.
Yes. A very therapeutic animal to be around. I mean, would you pair I mean, we know Adam's reaction to the yoga part of this, but would you, I mean, is this do any of you do yoga, and would introducing snakes into yoga enhance the experience of the exercise of yoga? I just wonder about that. And by the way, yoga means pathway, and yoga is a pathway to moksha, which is jumping off the inevitable cycle of rebirth, which is called samsara. And rebirth in Hinduism meaning, reincarnation, the idea of reincarnation, rebirth, that whole thing. So I just wanted to that there is even the word yoga is much more expansive than just what we understand as the exercise yoga.
I did not, and I mean this, I don't mean to offend anybody religiously. So if I did, my apologies. Practically though, practically. No, practically, I absolutely enjoy the calming effect of having snakes and handling them. I don't know that juggling a snake while you're, trying to reach your zen. I mean, I watch people at reptile shows and they have a tough time holding a snake, and not dropping it and thumping it on its head. So it does make me wonder. The other thing is, snakes, when you hold a snake and it like wraps around you, it's looking for warmth. And when you slide into a hot tub, how do I put this? Maybe if you've had a beverage, you would use the restroom before you get in the hot tub, because you're going to feel a nice, warm, relaxing sensation that might make you, want to get back out and use the restroom. So the snakes are getting nice and warm and relaxed. And let me tell you, that first baptism, that's not going to go well at a yoga joint. That's not going to bring
then they might the poop on you. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, there we go. There you go. You've pieced it together. Yeah, that's what happens that day.
Pieced it together. I am trying to be an academic, so
right. I know.
I'm not trying to be an academic, by the way. I'm not into that. But so you're saying that, so the first part of your comment, I thought, okay, well, hot yoga is a thing. So
yeah, I'm not saying to cook the snake. I'm saying literally your body heat, when it's cuddling up on you, there are times where it's like, okay, I'm comfy and warm and time to relax, baby. And
do you like, now we have, I'm sure that we have people who are breeders who are in this industry who are saying, yes, I find time to spend and relax with my snakes. And I'm sure that you have to find certain snakes that have a certain temperament. You don't want, as I understand it, there's certain temperaments that are less inclined to be friendly. And
you might have one or two, like ball pythons as a whole, you're pretty safe with. Like, the ones that, yeah, instead of like, hey, these are perfectly temperamented, the ones that are not perfectly temperamented, where you're like, okay, that one means business. So like I have
that's more of an anomaly. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I have like 2 or 3 where I'm like, all right, nobody touched this. But by and large, it's pretty good.
Do you try to sell those, or are those do you hold those back for breeding?
I give people a heads up. Like at a show, if somebody's like, can I check that one out? I'm like, well, here's the thing. This one's got a bit of an attitude, and I'm happy to let you hold it, but I need you to know that either you need to have experience or you're probably going to get bit. If you're looking for a pet, let's look over here. Here's one with similar genes, kind of deal. I do give them a heads up.
So let me ask you this. Does their temperament, like I have a dog. I've had him for 11 years. His temperament and his, I know that you wouldn't call it personality.
On the dog,
no.
Augie's got personality, man.
Yes. Yeah. I understand the dogs have personality. I'm just saying that you might not call a snake's temperament a personality. Other people might, but But does that temperament I know Augie has changed over time. Like he's much cooler now than he ever was.
Yeah.
So does that change over time for a snake?
Yeah, they settle down, and the adult ones, very rarely are the adults a behavior problem. It's the juveniles. They haven't quite figured out the world of what's food, what's a threat, what's okay, what's not, kind of deal. And a lot of times, when new owners get a snake, their temperament changes because they'll have it in a enclosure that's not as suitable, or a lot of lights on, or they've set up this enclosure that they want to make the centerpiece. So they've got spotlights in their living room next to the TV. I'm like, it's not really the place for the snake. Yeah, their temperaments can change and react. And again, I personally stop short of personalities, but sure, some people say it, but like, if they're unhappy and stressed, big surprise, their personality is not going to be very good, much like a human, so sure. It definitely can change. There's definitely times when people get home and they're like, this thing is a maniac. And I'm like, all right, let's talk through. What do you got for it? What do we need to do to get it adjusted and get it settled down and comfortable?
Right. Now, do you personally, I know that there are breeders who probably are not spending quality time with their snakes. Do you personally spend quality time with your snakes and just hang out with them and just enjoy them?
Some. So when people ask me, here's the thing. I interact with the snakes nearly daily, from checking on them, topping off water, spot cleaning, and then I do a full thorough top to bottom cleaning is on Tuesdays. That's the room flip day. And when that happens, the snakes come out, I'm handling them, I'm holding them. There's a few sometimes that I'll hang out with, just like I'll just put one on my neck while I'm cleaning or whatever. But that's most of it. But I do work with handling them because I do want to see their, mark the ones that aren't comfortable yet being handled. The last thing I want to do is put a snake in the hands of a kid, but really any customer who's like, hey, I'm excited, and then it's like, and I don't trust these things and I'll never be back. That would be the worst outcome. So, you know what I mean? Like, I want them.
Sure.
And so I'm looking for watching how they handle. I'm also tracking whether they eat frozen thawed or if they eat live. That's important to some buyers. So there's a little bit of that. I don't go as far as breeding for temperament. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying I haven't gone down that path yet. Gotcha. That's not one of my stipulations in, like, do I keep a snake or not?
Yeah, and why is that? Because the difference in temperament is, I don't know. Is it you can handle it, or it's not that wide of a gap, or the anomalies are so few, or?
I don't know that I think that it's genetic. Now, I've had a very good case made to me that it is. If we look at dog breeding historically, dogs are bred for temperaments and personalities and skills and strengths. So I can accept that it is possible. I just haven't. Yeah. I'm more interested in the genes and what I believe. Put it this way, in humans, which I don't want to get into the idea of breeding humans. That's not the point. What I'm saying is I think there's good people and there's jerks is what I think. I don't know that that's related to their genetics. So I don't know that a snake with a questionable temperament will make more snakes with questionable temperaments.
You know who would say that it's genetic? Well, no, I mean, or innate would be Carl Jung. Carl Jung says, personality, there are certain things that we are predisposed in our personality innately to be like.
And Mr. Skinner says, no, it's a little nature but nurture. Oh, my man BF, that's right, BF Skinner, baby.
BF Skinner, all right.
Who you relying on for a co-host here? I know what's going on. Yeah, BF Skinner says, no, it's nature, it's nurture, and he was pretty creepy. You give me any child, I'll make that child anything you want it to be in 30 years. That's a creepy dude.
Really
but
creepy.
that was the opposite. That was the opposite outlook. So I'm a little more Skinnerian. Is that what you would say? I'm not sure. Yeah.
I mean, as opposed to Jungian.
Yeah.
Skinnerian.
I would agree with
You've seen
Troy.
it.
It's pretty random on temperament and ball pythons. Now, again, I
Yeah.
can buy the argument. Heart of the Python, they have their Heartline brand that is bred for temperament. They hold back based on temperament. They house the snakes a little bit
That's
different for
interesting.
pet owners. So that is their argument. And again, I could believe it from the history of breeding animals. That is something important that's been tied in. I just haven't
But
gotten
there's
around to
not.
photos yet.
Is anybody doing work like creating Punnett squares for temperament?
uh Het for jerk. I don't think so, but I know a lot of people that I really do respect that hold like
A jerk recessive.
yeah, my buddy Shane at Small Town, he only breeds snakes that he's had great success and 100% success feeding frozen thawed. He is absolutely convinced that is a trait that can be isolated a little bit and
Yeah.
bred for. Yeah, this is great. The cat, yeah.
Mom
Mom
was a
was a
jerk,
jerk,
but dad's
but
cool.
dad's cool. We were 50%. This is a pos het for jerk right here.
That's funny. No, but nobody's really trying to gauge that, or because it would be too difficult, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess at some point there's the
There's no
actual like
category.
there's no space on the DNA helix that we know of where your gene trait or your personality trait gets attached. So in classic genetics, no, it's a little bit harder. Is there a whole lot more traits passed on than just the genetic DNA helix? Sure.
Yeah.
But I don't, you'd have to ask a geneticist a little bit more that has deeper understanding. I begin and end at the basic Punnett square, and I don't think this fits into that.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
You did start to talk about one of our sponsors, Heart of the Python. Should we
Heart of the
talk about our
Python.
other? Should
Yeah,
we
well,
talk about
first off, definitely check out Heart of the Python. They have their Heartline line of animals, and they've actually started their own sort of secondary sister brand called Heartline. You can find them on TikTok at least, and maybe other places. I discovered that last night. I was like, look at you, you got your own, you got two things going on. But that's Kate and Bill Peaver out in Massachusetts. Kate's working on Monarch and Puzzle. Bill likes Monsoon, and their daughters are working on Sunset and Clown. So heavy hitters all around. But their Heartline is specifically aimed for the pet category and introducing new people into the hobby with confidence that they can handle the snakes that they're getting, which is pretty cool. Cold-Blooded Cafe, I just got the shipment this week. I meant to do a video on Monday when I was filming or when I was feeding, and that was the day that I thought that the power and the internet was out, and I got behind because I had to do that fire. So I'll film this week, but again, I love their rodents. They have a size called jumbo small, and all you nerds out there, they sort them specifically to 60 to 80 grams, and it's like the perfect size for my adult ball pythons. I love it. I think that the mediums are a little too much sometimes for even the biggest females, but these jumbo smalls are just perfect for adult ball pythons. I'm loving them this time of year. So anyway, go check out Cold Blooded Cafe. Use the promo code Proper11. Free shipping on orders over $200. And Joe, it's breeding season, man. I'm logging all the pairings in Husbandry.pro. I don't have to worry about who was where, when did I pair what. I could track it all. I got a lot of pairings this year, so I gotta track it. And Husbandry.pro is the standard, man. It's great. You project planning, tracking, feeding. You can pass on all the information to the customers. It's all tracked by QR codes on your phone. Cloud, baby. I know what that means, but it is. So there you go. Check out those sponsors.
Yeah, and always thankful for giving the a little extra incentive here for us to get together on Thursday mornings. We really appreciate that, and all good folks too. I mean, I know Adam. I've known Adam for what 12 years. 12, 13 years. And Adam only works with the people who are great folks. That's the people that he wants to work with. So, and that's a compliment to myself, really, basically.
That's true. That's true. Very few rules, but yeah, I won't work with jerks. Het jerks, maybe we can work with you, but not het for jerk. We'll let's see.
Jerks.
But no jerks allowed, and that's a pretty staunch rule of mine. Wally, it's been a little while, but I did. If you go to my channel and search Husbandry.pro, there are a couple videos of how I use it, but also how it ties into my website. So I don't know if you anyway, if somebody's looking for a selling platform that's integrated with their animal tracking and selling, Husbandry.pro will do that. I'm not nerdy enough to fully understand it, but as I understand, there's something called an API, which you could plug into your own sales platform, which will tie back to the information of Husbandry.pro. So it's a way more than just like a glamorized spreadsheet. It's really cool stuff. Anyway, check that out. But they will, if you're a Husbandry.pro subscriber, they will provide the API to plug into your own sales platform if you are smart enough and know how to do all that, which, Wally, I think you are. I am not, but I believe I know I'm not. So there we go. Joe, what's been on your mind, man? Joe cooked up this this topic last night, and I was like, I like this topic. There's a quote that I really love from it, but set the stage, man.
I'm trying to remember because this conversation has been so enjoyable already.
We took the long way today, right? We're almost to the point where we're able to just bag the topic for next week. We're not going to do that though. We got to bring the people what they came for, you know.
The question that I had, and I think in your responses too to me, I think we, as always, we're kind of on topic, but we're thinking a little bit differently.
I love that too. Yeah, the show behind the show is that we like prep via text, and Joe will have something in his mind. But like society, when there's no context and 140 characters, we both go to a different place, and then we show up on the show, and we're like, that's not really what I meant. And then we go understand each other, and society goes on. And that's a beautiful story. But what did you have in mind about
you mentioned a resolution that you had already broken last week, which is you want to like kind of maintain. You want to maintain and perfect this year.
That's right. This is the year of
resolution.
Fine-tuning this year.
Fine-tuning,
not buy any new equipment, not jump in any new deep holes. Let's perfect what I do.
Which you have already broken. You admitted you have already broken this, and there is a venture that you are getting involved with. And is that's still a go? And it's already done.
It's actually already done. It was a minor venture, which leads into today's topic of, look, I can have all the plans in the world, but if a great opportunity comes, I have to at least consider it. I don't have to jump on every opportunity, but I have to consider it. If the details are right, if the price is right, and I believe that there's a big opportunity somewhere, then I'm going to go after it. So when a breeder that I know and that I've respected for a long time says, "Hey, Adam, I got to move on in life. I'm going to go down to pet stage. Are you interested in some equipment and some animals?" I got to go, well, if the details are right, and if I think it actually makes sense, and it's somebody that I know, it's an acquaintance already, I'm at least going to help them because we're friends. And that's different than opportunistic. But from an opportunistic standpoint, okay, would I keep these animals? Ooh, I would. Those are intriguing. Okay. What equipment you got? Oh, you got nice equipment. I either can sell it or keep it, but there's opportunity there. And, what's the quality of how you keep and care for your animals? A+. All right, now let's talk. We'll look at this. So I purchased a rodent rack, which I'll be keeping. I purchased a snake rack, which actually I think is sold today. And then 11 animals that are in their own rack, separate from the others, and they'll go through their own quarantine. But there's 4 or 5 in there that'll be holdbacks, and then the other 7 will go out into the market, and they're great quality animals, though, that I'm happy with. And I'll get them fed and shed, and like I say, put them through the paces of their health and that sort of thing.
like just stepping back from your specific situation is my main question was kind of when do you know to take kind of the foot off the gas and fine tune, and what are the things that need to be in place for you to put your foot back on the gas, I guess. And that was kind of my main question about, you know, because we're for the last maybe year and a half, we've been talking about you moving into a new place, and like you've had your foot on the gas for so long that it makes me go, okay, when do you know to kind of back off and fine tune and let things kind of go for a bit,
Well, one of the easy things is when you're broke, just look around and decide if you want to get broker or not. And if you don't, it's the time to fine tune. There's an easy, and I say that in a joking way, but I am a big believer in a positive cash flow model. So while I will take opportunities, I like there to be the cash on the table that I have rather than debt. So I'm not completely opposed or afraid of debt. I do not like credit card debt. So, I would want any debt to be certainly under 10% interest, and the lower, the better. So if you do make an investment or you do find a way to get a loan or whatever, if you're comfortable with that, I can't tell you not to do it, but I can tell you to think very, very closely about it. But, for me, an opportunity, I want to be 2 or 3 chess moves ahead. So, the car wash made sense because of the existing business in it. If I fall flat on my face with snakes, what am I going to do with the car wash? Well, it doesn't make money, but it pays for itself.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm at least back to even, and I have this tangible asset. I
Right.
don't want to be so gruesome to talk about animals dying, but if all the animals horrifically died, I wouldn't be left with any asset. So I like, if I'm gonna take a loan, I like true capital, something tangible asset. So racks, really good durable goods, and always in demand. Man, I post a rack, 5 or 6 inquiries right off. Like I said, I think a guy's coming today for it. Animals, a little different story. I also like the rodent rack because honestly, over an extended period of time, almost any price is the right price because it's going to produce more rodents that I can sell to eventually pay it off and make money. The question is,
Mhm.
how soon can I get there? This price was very advantageous. I think certainly within a year, but I think in 6 months that rack will pay for itself. That's a no brainer.
Oh, okay.
I'll
Okay.
have that durable rack for years. So,
Right.
um, that's sort of how I look at opportunities. I try and go, how am I going to pay for this thing that I intend to buy right now? Not, well, I'll buy it and then I'll be able to figure out how to make money.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of a slippery slope. So that's sort of how I look at opportunities. And Troy's exactly right. Yeah, sometimes fine tuning is going, all right. Um, I'm gonna vend 10 more shows this year, and I'm gonna fine tune this thing and figure it out. Sometimes that is
Okay. I see. I
exactly
see.
right too. It's almost not necessarily taking the foot off the gas. It's where your foot, if you're going to go 100 miles an hour, are you going to
Yeah.
go there on renovating and expanding? Are you going to go there on media, fine tuning and figuring things out? Are you going to go there on vending, brand exposure, interaction in the community, et cetera, et cetera? Where are you going to go on all of those with the gas kind of thing?
Yeah. So I'm being distracted by a few of these comments and questions, like Reptile Sam. You have a platform for selling rodents. Yeah.
Sam,
Go.
I will tell you, I've never advertised even once. Now, sorry, I've never explicitly advertised. I talk about rodents endlessly. I don't have enough rodents to take care of the inquiries that I get in town. If I put out an actual ad for rodents, it would be brand, not suicide, but it would hurt my brand because people would inquire and I'd be like, oops, never mind. I'm out right now. I've never once advertised specifically. If I were to, I would post pictures of the rodents and then say, find out more by DMing me directly or something like that. Yeah, on Facebook and Meta. Now, Craigslist, I don't know. Craigslist is Wild West. Marketplace.
Why is it flagged? What do you mean flagged?
Well, it's
You
against
can't post that, or?
Yeah, well, Craigslist is probably like just
Oh, this is that problem that you had last year too, right? This was
yeah, but just trolls flagging you. But on Facebook and Meta, it's actually against the terms of service to sell animals. So you have to be you have to be hinting. Like, I can advertise a website for people to look at, but I can't advertise that the snakes are for sale. So rodents, I just talk about them. I post videos about my facility. I post videos about, hey, here's some cute ASFs. It's one of my favorite like reels on Instagram to post is like disco music with rodents running around. It's kind of funny. So I do that and I get engagement, and then people are just like, do you have some for sale? I'm like, yeah, come get them. But I'm still not at the point where I can advertise for them.
There's this nagging thought in my mind about this conversation, the prior conversation, than posting about rodents or advertising. But there's this idea of, you have a plan in place, and you work it and you kind of remember there's some book that talks about being consistent with moving this plan forward. But how do you know, how do you know the success of your plan? If you need to change it, how do you need to change it? Or do you need to jump off that plan and create some kind of new plan or new avenue for your revenue generating activity? Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I do know what you're saying. I think, and that's a really complicated question. I mean, that is business in a nutshell, which is really a weird expression of what's in a nutshell. But anyway, that's a whole different conversation too. That's all of business. So I think I personally write a budget. Now, budgets are at best a prediction and a goal, but at least it tells you, am I making or missing my goals? And if I'm making them, then you look and you say, what are you doing right? If I'm missing them, what am I doing wrong? And is it acceptable? If I'm missing it because the temperature is 10 degrees below zero and I can't go to Des Moines this weekend, okay, that's an anomaly. That's not an underlying change in what's going on in the market. If 90 days in, I'm at a variance of 40%, I got to look myself in the eye and go, okay, Adam, what are you doing here? And is this explainable? Is this a hobby that you're content to be 40% off? All of those things.
Right,
so,
yeah.
But then also you pair it with, and the quote I was going to say is, and I forget the guy's name. It's always important to attribute quotes, and I can't remember, and I didn't really plan the show that well this morning. No, it is Charlie Munger. I was going to say it was Warren Buffett's investing partner, Charlie Munger. He essentially says a prepared mind finds more opportunity or attracts more opportunity. If
a prepared mind.
So if you say, for me, I'm not saying anybody else has to say this, but if you say, I want to be on a cash flow positive model, I keep cash on hand for when liquid assets. I don't literally have a stack of cash in the snake room here. Let's not go that far. If I have cash and assets on hand for when an opportunity comes, then I can take the opportunity that will present itself to me. And I really believe in that idea. If you educate yourself, if you think of, all right, here's my actual budget, here's what I'd really like to do, here's what people that I look up to are doing. If I get the opportunity to advance to that area, I will do so. I don't know when and where and how that opportunity will come, but I will be prepared. I will educate my mind. I will have, opportunities ready then, or I'll be ready for opportunities. I love that idea, man. That's what keeps you curious. That's what keeps you, you got to stay focused, but if you can look just a little bit outside of your focus, there's going to be things and opportunities that excite you. To your point, you can't go nuts. I myself can't go, That's a really cool species of lizard. Let me buy 42 of those and all the equipment. That's a really cool species of spider. Let me buy 99 of those and I'll just be a damn zoo. I can't do that. And I can't define to you who can and can't do that, because some people can very, very well.
Yeah.
I would rather be a bit more specialized, keep my lane. And this sounds really like, I've always been like skeptical when I hear people say this, but I find it more and more true. Block out the noise, man. If you got a vision and you're passionate about it, and again, for me, it's been important to be cash flow positive, but if don't worry about the what the other people are doing, or look for what they're not doing. I don't think that many people are trying to find a way to insulate or to promote themselves outside of kind of the typical platforms, which by the way, we didn't mention Palm Street, but we are coming ad free today from Palm Street. Check that out. I think you have to diversify both your platforms, but also I think you have to ask yourself, we just talked about terms of service and getting flagged. What happens then? Have your own website. And I work very hard. Like right now, talk about fine tuning. This is the year of me figuring out how to talk to the machines so that when somebody looks for a ball python, the machine goes, Adam is your boy, and puts you in touch with me. Like that's the world of opportunity, in my opinion, right there. I don't think a lot of my colleagues are doing that, and competitors are doing that. So I want to learn how to do that, especially in the Minnesota market. I don't need the whole world. If I can get into the 3-4 million people in the metro area here in Minneapolis, there's plenty of market there just to sustain me. I just got to be the best at it.
Yeah. A few things that out of what you said. One thing is a vision is not only stating what you want to do in the future, what your future is. It's saying what it is not. That's really, really important. And even I've talked about this in all of my classes this week, is that when you define something, you're not only saying what it is, but you need to say what it's not. And that's really important, I think, for businesses and keeping your focus. And then the other thing is when you said a prepared mind, you also mentioned being prepared financially for opportunities though too. So it's not just the prepared mind.
You can't just wish money into existence.
It's putting money away so that when opportunities arise, you are prepared to jump on those opportunities, even though that in your budget you might not have cordoned off something specific for that money. It's just money for opportunity.
Yeah, or financing set up for opportunity. If I used to always say, and I've kind of gotten out of buying and flipping guitars, but I mean, if I thought that I could repair and make 10x on a guitar, I never cared if I had money for it or not. As long as I had financing or space on credit card, I'll go buy it.
Right. Yeah.
Because I can add value and I can resell it. It's a little different with live animals, but I don't think it's any different with durable goods. If there's a brand name rack at the right price, I'll go rent a storage unit to sell it if I need it at the right price. Like you just figure those things out. So that's sort of a prepared mindset of, I mean, and I have some of the means to do it. I'll tell you, one of the nastiest things you'll ever do is clean somebody else's rodent rack. That is horrific experience. I happen to have a car wash that I can use for such things. I might be better equipped than somebody doing that with a garden hose in January in Minnesota. There's really not a good way to clean that outdoors this time of year. So if you don't have that facility, you're certainly not going to want to clean somebody else's rodent rack in your bathtub in the middle of winter. You might not be able to take that opportunity. You got to look at the resources you have too,
Understood. That's a good point too.
So
that's a good point.
Almost like what are you uniquely capable of or uniquely able to maximize? And I think that's a good exercise just to think through for, hey, what opportunities are out there. You mentioned, but one thing I think is really important that most people roll their eyes at, and I get it. I did for decades. I was in the corporate world. When I heard purpose points or company values or mission statements, I always rolled my eyes, man. Okay, company line. Yeah. When it's your own company, you should have a very, very clear, strong mission statement and vision, and that should define the moves that you take. So if I say I want to be known as a reliable resource of quality, purposeful, healthy ball pythons, that doesn't fit red-eyed tree frogs or whatever they are. Like, it doesn't mean that can't change and evolve, but it means I need to think very, very strongly about changing that if I do, or ask what changed in my mission and vision.
Yeah.
So that dictates when to kind of not take an opportunity.
Sure. Yeah. I think it might even be more important than actually saying what you do than saying what you won't do. I think just for me mentally, just for my personality, I can be very, very kind of, let's try this. Let's try this.
Right.
If I say, no, this is what I'm doing, it helps me to focus. This is what I'm not doing. It helps me to focus for sure.
And I know that we got to wrap up here. I've been enjoying it, but we're already well into overtime. My appreciation for hanging out and for everybody hanging out, and my appreciation to this hotspot that I've run the show completely on. I'm lucky, man. I'm excited on that.
This newfangled technology that's been around for 15 years. It's amazing.
Joe, I have like 1 bar of 5G in a basement. And anyway, you talked about knowing what you can't do, but really what you were just talking about is knowing yourself. Some people are really, really excellent sort of CEO minds. They don't get deep into the stuff, but they get a lot of stuff. So maybe that person could handle 2 or 3 employees, 4 or 5 different species, and they're great, and they're going to manage it from an eagle eye view, and they're really great leaders. And that would be one set of opportunities that they could take. And myself, I know, I don't want employees. I don't want to be an employee. So I have to make sure it's what I can handle myself. Plus, I still love the hands-on portion of it. There was a time in my career when I missed actually just being on a production line, and I would go do it because I enjoyed it. And I was, building relationships with my team. And I remember my boss being like, "What are you doing? There's no need. You should never be cooking on the line." And I'm like, "Well, I'm going to, because it's fun." So I know myself, I like to get in the muck a little bit. And that's really where I find my own version of snake yoga. That's where I find my Zen, is when I'm in the muck and I'm doing the work.
Look at that.
So
there's a full circle. Nice. Bringing back snake yoga. Perfect.
I was glitching on the internet connection, apparently.
A few times.
Okay, that's cool. And Max Headroom. That's right, man. What a classic. My forehead is almost now as big as Max Headroom. It's why I wear hats. Yeah, exactly, man. We could have a forehead anyway. So those are all the things that go into it. Know yourself, know your goals, know what you will and won't do, have a prepared mind, and keep a little cash on hand. How about that?
That's perfect. I think that's a good way to wrap it up.
Yeah. Joe, I appreciate it. This went by fast today. I'm not sure. We covered a lot of ground, man. A lot of cultural, this is where you guys come. We covered it all. Business, entertainment, snakes, yoga, history of hip hop. It's good, man.
It was great. Thanks for a great morning. Great way to start your Thursday. We'll see you next week. Definitely.
Anybody that joined late who's like, wait, history of hip hop, go to the beginning. You will not be disappointed. January 20th, 1992. It was a good day, my friends. See you guys soon.
Take it easy.
Putting up with us. I don't know why you do, but I'm actually really grateful and thankful. Thanks, Joe. See ya.